So today we're going to be talking about Instagram marketing for business, and let's go ahead and kick it off by looking at some of our results. We've generated thousands of website hits and traffic through Instagram, and we've even generated millions of purchases with Instagram marketing, with some campaigns seeing a return on ad spend of over 7 times. So it's safe to say that we know what we're doing when it comes to Instagram marketing. And if you want to learn how Instagram marketing can help you and your business, then stay tuned and watch this entire video. Hey, I'm Sean with LYFE Marketing, the digital marketing agency that saves businesses from bad marketing and no growth. Now, we've been doing Instagram marketing since 2012, and what Instagram looks like now in 2020 is completely different from what it looked like years ago, which means the strategies and the tips have completely changed as well. So I want to save you the time from using outdated strategies that no longer work. And instead, I want to give you some time-tested strategies that will likely last forever and save you from wasting your time. Hey Sean, don't we save businesses time by doing it for them? Yes, but that's not what we're talking about here. Instead, I want to set you on the right path for long-term growth, something that you can do with or without our agency. So these are some of the topics that we're going to go over today. Number one, we're going to take a look at some of the common mistakes that people make with Instagram marketing. Number two, we're going to cover about 5 powerful tips for organic Instagram growth. Number three, we're going to cover 5 more tips that help you accelerate your marketing with paid advertising. So if you're interested in that, then make sure you hit that like button below and you subscribe to our channel. And thank you to everyone who's been supporting us. Reading your comments and your messages are truly motivating us to continue to build together. All right, let's go ahead and dive in with part number 1, looking at the biggest mistakes that people make with Instagram marketing. Now, the biggest mistake, and I mean the one I've seen time and time again, is when people focus too much on quality. And I get it, right? It's your brand, it's your dream, and you want to make sure your vision is reflected properly. But a wise man once said that perfection is the enemy of progress. Let me say that again for the people that choose to ignore this part. But guys, perfection is the enemy of progress. Okay, so what does that mean? Stop rewriting your captions, stop taking new photos, and stop hanging on to the content that you already have. If you really want to grow, then you have to put one foot in front of the other, and you have to be willing to live with a few mistakes so you can get some overall progress. Now, when we get into organic tips, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. Now, let's move on to the second biggest mistake, which is closely followed behind number 1, okay? And this mistake is when people only talk about themselves or they only try to sell you stuff with Instagram. Okay, we gotta get this through our heads, okay? People don't go to Instagram to buy stuff. Now, I'm not saying that people don't buy stuff because of Instagram, because as I showed earlier, they definitely do. But that is not the primary reason that people go to the app, okay guys? They are going to Instagram because Instagram provides them with some kind of value to their life. So one thing I see a lot of people do is they try to compare themselves to celebrities or big brands, right? But you can't forget that these people have brought value already to a fan base outside of Instagram. Like when you think about delicious cookies that millions of people already love, they're just on Instagram to communicate with their fan base. Or when you think about a celebrity like a musician, they're already bringing value through their music. Or an actor may be already bringing some value through their movies. So you need to remember that when you're thinking about running a promotion on Instagram, because that matters a lot. And the last big mistake that I see people make is they don't reach enough people. Hey Sean, look how far I can reach. Okay, kind of like that. What I mean by that is if your posts are great, if you're not being a perfectionist, then you need to make sure that people actually see your content. Because it doesn't matter how great your page is or how awesome your brand looks. If nobody knows about you, then nobody will care. I've seen hundreds of profiles with beautiful images, great content, and only 100 followers, right? Like that's not going to make a dent in your overall Instagram marketing. All right, now the next 2 parts of this video is all about growth. All right, so now you know what not to do. Let's talk about some tips for organic growth. Starting with tip number 1, use Instagram personally and consume your competitors' content. You want to use Instagram for yourself so you understand how other people use it. But when you're on Instagram, instead of mindlessly scrolling, start analyze what is happening to you and your own behavior. So I'm gonna assume if you're watching this video, then you probably already use Instagram. So the next thing I want you to do is to start consuming your competitors' content. And you're not necessarily looking for direct competitors, but you're looking for people who have similar audiences to the one that you want. And the ideal competitors to follow are gonna be people who have built their online presence from scratch. So usually these are gonna be brands with high post volumes, highly active on Instagram, and newer brands who probably started their whole company in like 2010. So follow them, start consuming their content, and start reading their comments. And this is gonna instantly give you some ideas on how you and your brand can attack the market. All right, tip number 2, more volume, more posts. Okay, in 2020, organic Instagram marketing has changed, right? Like the algorithm is completely different. So now the Instagram algorithm focuses more on showing posts that you engage with the most. So even if you have a big follower base, it doesn't mean that you're gonna reach everybody who follows you, right? Like I follow hundreds of people, yet I usually only see posts from my top 10 to 20 people that I follow. And if you use Instagram personally, then you know exactly what I mean. So if you wanna dominate the Instagram marketing algorithm, then you need to start aiming to post quality content at least every day so you can remain top of mind and get into those top 10 to 20 profiles that most people see. Now you can get away with a lower post frequency if you're doing some paid promotion, which we'll look at in part 3 of this video. For now, let's move on to our third organic tip for Instagram marketing, which is to provide value. Now, if you've been subscribed and you've been watching our videos, then you know how important it is to provide value to your audience. And it's no different on Instagram. You see, Facebook owns Instagram, so a lot of the things that work well on Facebook are also duplicated on Instagram as well. So find a way to give value. You might want to give away some tips, make people laugh, give away some fashion ideas, exclusive videos, etc. Right? There are endless amount of ways that you can uniquely provide value. And when it's done properly in a way that makes your audience life better and makes them look good, well, that's the kind of stuff that helps you to go viral. Now, Karan made a really good video on exactly what to post on Instagram, which I'll link above. Okay, so our fourth organic tip for Instagram is to use hashtags. Now, most people use hashtags completely wrong. That's because they pick a hashtag that is highly competitive, right? Like a hashtag like Happy Monday or Motivation Monday is generic and being used by millions of people. So let's take a look at some hashtags on Instagram together to give you a better idea of how to find the right hashtag. All right, guys, I'm on my phone now, and I just want to show you guys how to look at some hashtags for organic Instagram growth. So I'm on my Instagram app, and we're under the search section and then under the tag section. All right, so to demonstrate this properly, we're gonna need an example of like a client scenario or a situation that someone may be in. So for this demonstration, let's assume that you are a personal trainer and you're trying to grow your Instagram page. So what are some hashtags that you might include in your post? Well, one hashtag might be workout, you know, hashtag workout. And what we're gonna see when we look at this hashtag, especially when we go into recent, is that these hashtags are being used almost every second. And I hope I don't show anything inappropriate as I'm scrolling, but I want you to pay attention to the seconds on the screen. So this was posted 17 seconds ago, 22 seconds ago, 26 seconds ago, 29 seconds ago. Like all these posts are coming in by the second. So as soon as you use this hashtag, whatever post you create is gonna disappear really quickly, right? So we want hashtags that stick a little bit. Let's go with body transformation. And then we also want to see how often is this hashtag being searched, right? So this was being used 3 minutes ago, 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 2 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago. So yeah, again, this hashtag doesn't work because it's being used too frequently, and whatever you use, whatever you post with this hashtag is gonna disappear really quickly. All right, so you wanna try to get into somewhere between like 100,000 or less searches. So your post that you use with that hashtag sticks, right? So it sticks and that people actually see your post with the hashtag. So maybe a hashtag like gym bound. Let's see how many times this gets posted. So 68,000 searches every month. We're gonna click on gym bound. Let's go to recent. And then let's look at how often things are being posted. So this was posted 52 minutes ago, 6 hours ago, 13 hours ago, 17 hours ago, 20 hours ago. So guys, when you're looking at this hashtag gymbound, it's still relevant to a personal trainer. And when you use the hashtag, your post is going to stick, right? So you're gonna be able to be very visible for at least a day when you use this hashtag. All right, so if you post every day, you continue to use that hashtag where you're gonna dominate that particular hashtag. So again, guys, what you're looking for is gonna be hashtags that actually stick and that you can be found with. So try to stay away from the generic and very competitive hashtags. All right, the last organic tip for Instagram marketing, and number 5 on my list, is influencer marketing. Now y'all, this is an advanced tip that can be extremely difficult to execute because there are a lot of ways this can go south. So the concept here is you find an Instagram influencer that is in your space and you say, hey, if you promote my page, then I will give you some value, some kind of benefit. So usually you'll pay them, you'll give them a free product, or you'll cross promote their page as well. So when this works, it is beautiful. It is a win-win scenario. But there are a lot of profiles that are faking or exaggerating their Instagram influence, and you can wind up overpaying for promotion. So I recommend using this strategy once you get to an advanced level of Instagram and master a lot of the other tips in this video. Okay, so that takes care of it for the organic Instagram tips. Before we move on, I want to hear from you. Tell us in the comments below if you think I missed anything or if there's something that you'd like to add to these organic tips as well. All right, so part 3, paid Instagram marketing. I got 5 tips for you. Tip number 1, know your objective. So using Instagram ads are going to help you skyrocket your growth. Prepare for 10,000 Instagram followers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, take off. But guys, remember you're paying for growth, so you need to be very specific about what you are paying for. Let's hop on my computer and take a look at some of these objectives and how to set up Instagram ads. All right guys, I'm on my computer now and we're just gonna take a look at some Instagram ad objectives. Now, as we mentioned earlier, Facebook owns Instagram. So when you wanna run some really powerful Instagram ads, then you wanna do it through the Facebook Ads Manager. All right, and if you don't have one yet, you can sign up at business.facebook.com to go ahead and get the job done. All right, so now let's go ahead and look at some of these campaign objectives you have to choose from. So Facebook breaks this down into different steps of the funnel. So the first step in the funnel is the awareness step, which sits at the very top of the funnel. So you can choose from a brand awareness campaign or a reach campaign. At the middle of the funnel, you have the consideration step, which is gonna get people interested into whatever you're trying to promote. So that's gonna get you some more traffic, some more engagement, etc. And at the bottom of the funnel or lower level of the funnel, you have the conversion step, which is more so geared toward those leads, those sales, those purchases that you really want to get from Instagram ads. All right, so make sure you know exactly what step, what conversion that you actually want to happen. All right, what objective you want to happen. All right, so just really quickly, I'm gonna show you how to set it up. So let's say we're doing a traffic campaign. Just like with Facebook ads, you're gonna be able to select from a host of different targeting options, right? So you have your campaign budgets, which you can set at whatever you want. Then you have your ad set, which is where all the magic and the power really happens. So you can select your audience, your start date, choose the locations, the age range, the genders, dive into some different interests and behaviors and demographics of your audience. But the biggest thing is when you want to run Instagram ads, you want to click on this manual placement and you want to turn off everything other than Instagram. All right, so now you can run ads strictly on Instagram, and as you can see, you can run ads in the store, in the feed. You're also going to be able to run ads in the Explore tab, and then you can also run ads in Instagram stories. So guys, this is where you select your Instagram ad objective. Make sure you pick one that is really associated to what you want to accomplish, and then make sure you are selecting the proper placements for Instagram. So know your objective. Are you trying to build a huge following? Are you trying to get more engagement on your page? Are you trying to get more overall sales and traffic? Once you know it, then you're ready to move on to tip number 2 for paid advertising, which is to measure. So take your objective and focus on the metrics that closely align with your objective. So if you want to reach more people and build up your fans, then pay close attention to how many unique people you're reaching every month. If you want more engagement and you're trying to show up in that top 10 to 15 people list that we talked about earlier, then look at your engagement. Okay, so you really want to know what it is that you want to accomplish and then measure that month over month. And a bonus measurement tip is to install a Facebook pixel on your website so you can measure your Instagram growth with your website growth. For example, when you install the pixel correctly, you can see exactly how many people contacted you or how many people bought something from your website and exactly how much they ordered. All right, third tip for paid ads is to set a budget. Now, I created a whole video about how to determine your marketing budget, which I'll link up above. But the key here is to actually spend enough money to actually make progress, or you have to be willing to be patient, guys. Okay, so you can spend as little as $1 a day on Instagram, but it's gonna take you a while before you start getting back some predictable data. And there's a lot of people out there that would say spend $5 a day, but what they won't tell you is it takes a long time before you start seeing some really good results. So set a budget that is aligned with your time horizons and study those key metrics that we talked about. A good rule of thumb is that the lower funnel objectives like conversions require a higher budget of at least $20 a day. All right, now tip number 4, keep providing value. Now we talked about this in the organic section, but it also applies here in paid ads, guys. So when you're creating an ad, if you can lead with something free, a gift, or a super special offer, that's gonna dramatically improve your chances of getting results. Now, since you're paying to reach more people, then I would advise that you track exactly who is responding to your offer so you can continue to market to them later. So at the very least, try to capture their name, their email, and their number, and this way you can create an email or text campaign or even a remarketing campaign so you can try to win them over later. Okay, the last tip is the best one on the list. I mean, it is hands down, no questions asked, without a doubt, undoubtedly. All right, Sean. We got it. Tip number 5 is to use lookalike audiences. Lookalike audiences are the best audience that you can pair with your Instagram ads. So a lookalike audience basically takes your existing audience's characteristics, demographics, gender, and age and matches them up with other users on Instagram as well. So if you have a pool of 5,000 customers and you're thinking, man, I want to get 5,000 more customers, then you can use a lookalike audience to find 5,000 more people that look like your current customers. And out of all the audiences that we use on Instagram, lookalike audiences have the highest success rate. Of course, you need to build up a base before you're able to use lookalike audiences, and we personally recommend at least 2,000 people being your base before you try to create a lookalike audience. But if you use the tips in this video, then you'll quickly get there. So in conclusion, the most effective method for growth is to combine organic and paid Instagram marketing. And along the way, make sure you're avoiding those key mistakes that we talked about earlier, okay guys? And wow, look at that, you made it to the end of our video. So come on, go ahead, subscribe, continue to support us, and continue to make yourself a better marketer. But that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Sean, and I'll see you in the next video.